Love180, and we do a lot of talks about relationships because we think they're so important. Raise your hand if one day you think you may get married, even if there's a slight chance you might get married. Okay, cool. And we see that a lot. I did a survey at a college not too long ago, and 46 out of 46 said they plan to get married. Did my survey, so that's interesting. Now, are all of those marriages working out really wonderful and swell?
No.
No. Okay. So hopefully you're seeing some good ones, though. I hope. Maybe not in your own family, but you're seeing some of those good ones. A lot of love, respect. Not perfect, because we're all a bit of a mess as humans, but you're seeing the good side. But you're also seeing the mess, the pain, the misery, maybe divorce and all that. And do you think any of these people that ended up with a miserable divorce kind of planned to get there?
No.
No. They weren't sitting there thinking, if I can make all these dumb decisions, I'll end up with a miserable family life and divorce and kids cry. Nobody thought about that. And yet, a lot of people are ending up where they don't want to be. So part of our thought is, what's up with that? Why are a lot of people end up where they don't want to be relationally? Because it's so important to your happiness to make good relationship decisions. Pretty much everybody raised their hand and said they plan to probably get married one day. And yet, thinking about, again, this reality, a lot of people ending up with misery there. And let me ask you, if you got, let's say because you really focused through school, and your different paths you're going to go, and you worked hard, you got a great job, okay, that's cool. But if you come home at the end of the day to like one of those miserable marriages ready to blow apart, do you think you'd be a happy camper? Probably not. Probably not. So relationships are like a key to happiness, and a lot of people are ending up where they don't want to be. So what's up? How can you end up where you want to be with good relationship, one versus the bad? Now, suppose it was your goal this weekend to go up to Hershey Park, PA, to ride the rides, eat chocolate, get sick, that whole fun deal. If that was your goal from here in lovely Reisterstown, I think you pretty much still have to go north to get there. So point the direction that you think would take you north. Don't hit anyone, just take a guess. What direction you think you'd have to go to get to Hershey Park? Okay, we have a lot of people pointing up in this room, which is kind of a blonde thing. So, okay, great. Now, all right, now the up pointers you're thinking of the map on the wall is north is that way, but you can't drive a car. So anyway, north has to be one of these directions. So let's say we check the compass and the map and it's this way, yet your friends are like, no dude, it's that way. Does that become north because someone says so?
No.
No, exactly. So if you followed the wrong directions, what if you really meant well? Like you're very sincere, are you still going to end up where you don't want to be?
Yes.
Yeah, you still will not. You're going to end up at the wrong place, no matter how sincere you are with those wrong directions. And I think about our culture. We're in this culture that's very sexual. We're in a culture that has a lot of opinions about what kind of lifestyle you should live as teenagers. You know, one message you might get from mom, or from a teacher, or from like a youth leader or something, and you're like, might be totally different than the next song you're going to hear on the radio. Correct? Your mom probably isn't going to say the same thing as some of the music you hear. You might watch two movies, and the same night will point you in different directions as a lifestyle. One would be like emphasizing the love and the romance and no sex till the happily ever after marriage time. And then the other movies like Teens Gone Wild, some reality thing show that's just not, you know, I hope you're not watching something like that. But anyway, very different lifestyles, and they're all claiming, oh, this will take you to your happiness. This is where you're going to find the most excitement. This is where the maximum pleasure is. And hey, look around. If all of those lifestyles worked, then everybody would be ending up in happy relationships, right? But they're not. And so that's why we do this. I didn't have a clue when I was your age. Please believe me. I did go to Hopkins, took a lot of psychology and all that stuff. Don't remember anything from my books. But I do know I've observed a lot and experienced a lot in my work. And so most of this comes from life experience and observation. But I want to ask you all, even though you're 8th graders and you probably know a lot, because this is the information age, and I don't want to diminish what you know, but I want to say please keep an open mind, because some of the things I'm going to say are a little countercultural. We'll get into that in a minute. But just to kind of keep an open mind to what I'm saying today, as much as you may know, because there's always room to learn more. I'm thinking when you're 18, like graduating from high school, do you think you're going to be still hanging out with 13-year-olds? Yeah, careful with that. But probably not. I mean, you know, maybe your punky brother or sister, but you probably won't be hanging out with friends that are 13 years old, because you're going to be like, dang, you know, they're kind of clueless still, you know. Not that you are, but, you know. So, relationships are important. How long might it take to build an average random house? Just give me a guess. That's a strange question. At 8 in the morning, yes.
Like 6 months or less.
6 months or less. Okay, that's a good guess. Okay, how fast could that really nice house be destroyed?
A day.
A day.
Like 2 seconds.
2 seconds. That what you were going to say? What would you do it with in 2 seconds?
Explode it.
Okay, good. Good. Just be careful with that. So anyway, yeah. I think about our lives, you know, it takes a long time to build a life. You're building. I mean, when I say building, you're building your friendships. That's awesome. You're building your academic career, doing all your homework, I'm sure. Maybe playing a sport or doing dance or art or music or whatever it is. But you're building, and you can build a great one. I mean, a little bit of focus really pays off. And yet, you've probably seen this. Somebody cruising along like your age the next few years, a few bad decisions blow everything apart so quick. Now, I've seen some of that. I've seen some of that in my life. There was a famous basketball player, you guys are too young, but Lenny Bias played for Maryland, best player in the nation in the 80s. Front of Sports Illustrated, first draft pick in the NBA draft. Awesome, a lot of people thought he'd be better than Michael Jordan. Great guy. Went to a party to celebrate his big contract with the Celtics, tried cocaine one time, had a heart attack and died. One bad decision, in other words, blew apart a whole life of focus, hard work, and great decisions. He was a good guy. A lot of people liked him. But I just want to say, the relationship decisions, the sexual decisions you make are that big of decisions that they can change your life like that. Like one decision you make one night at some party you get invited to, and there's alcohol, and you make that decision to drink. And 80% of people lose their virginity when they're drunk. And you take that next step, thinking, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, well, it can change your life forever.